Okay, so I'm at Let's Golf in Horley, I'm at base camp, and today's tip is about the setup, the basics, okay? How to get yourself ready in the correct posture and set up to strike that golf ball in the best possible way. Okay, simple step series today, and the basics. The alignment, where you position your feet, knees, hips and shoulders, and also how you align and position your pelvis, how you tilt your pelvis and torso to allow you, if we get those positions correct, it's going to allow you to bring the club down on a repeatable, functional path through the golf ball and allow you to make good, solid contact, okay? So, step number one, the basic alignments, okay? I've got two rods on the ground. These two rods represent one, the target line, two, where my feet and body are going to be aiming, okay? So, I always look at the target line and I try and draw my target back. So I'm going to draw a line all the way back from my target and pick a spot on the ground about 3 inches ahead of the golf ball. That's going to be nice and easy for you to then point your club face at that spot so you can get your face square or at right angles to the target line, okay? Once the face is in position, we can then go ahead and take our stance, making sure that we position our pelvis and make sure that we have the feet, knees and hips on a line parallel to my target line. I then am going to position my hands on the handle and make sure that I got my shoulders square or parallel to my target line, okay? As you can see, I'm using a graphic here. This is the K-Vest 3D system, which I use down at my studio here at Let's Golf. And what it's doing, it's allowing me to demonstrate to you this basic rotation, okay? This measures the body in 3 dimensions of freedom. It's going to measure the body, how it tilts forwards, how it tilts side to side, and how it rotates, okay? So it's a great system and I use it with my clients all the time to go through these basics. So that's step number one. Step number two, very, very simple now. We're going to talk about how we bend forwards, okay? How we bend forwards to lower the club down to the ground, okay? I often see golfers in desk position, okay? And desk being the pelvis tucked under and buttocks down. In desk position and then bending from the middle of their back or bending from their knees. That's a common position that I see golfers sitting in, ready to make a golf swing. Okay, so with the K-Vest system, we're going to look at forward bend, and that's buttocks up, how much we angle the pelvis so that the buttocks start to point up to the sky, and how much we then lean forwards from the hips to get the torso in position. So the exercise that I've set up here is the bend at address exercise on the K-Vest program, on the software, okay? So I'm going to get my alignments, step number one, and then I'm going to maintain my pelvis, get my pelvis at the correct tilt. As you can see, the red circle there moving up and down that scale. So that's the correct amount of buttocks up. You can use your mobile phone, place that in your back pocket and have the screen facing away from you and angle the screen, try to angle it up to the sky. It will put that natural arch in the lower lumbar, which is correct, okay? So I can see that my pelvis is in position. And there we go. So that was the pelvis forward bend. And as you can see, the optimal range is anything from about 11 degrees of forward bend down up to 27 degrees bent forwards. The torso is between 35 and 45. And these are all measured. This is a tour range from tour professionals that K-Vest measures, okay? So it's not saying that you have to be exactly one of those numbers. It's given you a range of 16 or 10 or so degrees that you can move within, okay? So let's go through that again. Step number 2, the bend at address, and how we bend forwards with the pelvis, how we bend forwards with the torso, and get ourselves in position. Okay, the final step is side bend at address. Okay, side bend at address is going to be how much my pelvis is going to be tilted at address, side to side, and how much my torso is going to be tilted side to side, okay? So, as we move into this position, so I've got my alignment, so I'm going to square my body up relative to my target line. I'm going to angle my buttocks up and lower the club down, bending from the hips. I'm then going to be making sure that I have the correct amount of side bend. As you can see, it's not my pelvis that's going up. My pelvis is staying fairly level. If I had a spirit level sitting on my belt buckle, that's staying relatively level. It might have about 5 degrees of side bend, of right side lower than the left side, okay? So, as I lower my right shoulder towards my right hip, you can see I'm achieving that side bend, okay? So, let's do a rep here on the KVEST program. Okay, so there's the simple step series. Step 1, align your body, your feet, knees, hips and shoulders in a parallel line to the target line. Step number 2, make sure you tilt forwards or forward bend from the pelvis. Have your mobile phone in your back pocket and angle the screen, which is facing away from you, up to the sky. Bend forwards from the hips, lower the torso down. Step 3, we're just going to make sure we have a little bit of side bend, that the right shoulder is a little bit lower than the left shoulder at address without the pelvis dropping down, okay? So we're going to get that little bit of side bend. And we're in the optimal position for you to make a functional and repeatable golf swing. Hope you enjoyed that video. Enjoy your golf.